organochlorides present in pesticides are non-biodegradable and are much hazardous to animals, including human beings also. Nowadays, use of pesticides to control different types of pest is much increased. These pesticides, along with water, they come into the soil horizon, particularly in the underground water, and through underground water these pesticides they may enter into the body of animals. Through food chain, these agrochemicals, particularly pesticides, particularly organochlorides, which are non-biodegradable, through food chain they enter into the body of animals and they start to get accumulated or deposited in the fatty tissues of animals. As these organochlorides, they are non-biodegradable, they get deposited or accumulated in the fatty tissues of animals, and this phenomena of accumulation of non-biodegradable organochlorides within the fatty tissues of animals is known as bioaccumulation, which we are facing nowadays. Bioaccumulation is nothing but accumulation or deposition of non-biodegradable organochloride pesticides in the fatty tissues of living organisms, particularly in animals. The another important is biomagnification or bioconcentration. When organochlorides or pesticides, non-biodegradable pesticides, they accumulate in the fatty tissue of living organism, from one living organism through food chain, these non-biodegradable substances, they are transformed or they enter into the next trophic level, and this is how these non-biodegradable substances, organochlorides, pesticides, they get accumulated in the top level of food chain, particularly secondary, tertiary, trophic levels, etc. These are found to be present in increasing concentration in top level of top trophic levels particularly, and this phenomena is known as bioconcentration or biomagnification. Increasing concentrations of non-biodegradable pesticides in the top layers of food chain, in the top trophic levels of food chain, is known as biomagnification or bioconcentration, which may be much hazardous to these animals, and they may cause certain hazardous effect on the top levels of food chain, top trophic levels of food chains particularly. Now we will discuss regarding solid waste management. solid waste management. Solid waste is nothing but it is the waste which household waste or industrial or municipal waste which is thrown out of the municipal corporations or corporations. Solid waste management usually involves two main techniques. One is open burning dumps, use of open burning dumps to bring about solid waste management, and the next one is use of sanitary landfills. In open burning dumps, the waste is burned which may cause air pollution, and these open burning dumps may serve as house for breeding of different rodents like mouse, rats, etc. On the contrary, sanitary landfills are nothing but the solid waste is put into depressions or into large pits, and these large pits or depressions, they are covered daily with the soil, and the waste is laid to undergo disintegration or decomposition. In solid waste management, citizens they have to play an important role. Citizens have to sort, or they should sort their household waste into three categories, particularly biodegradable like remnants of vegetables, non-biodegradable like glass or glasswares, etc., metals, etc., and recyclable, that is newspapers, polythene bags, etc. This sorting of waste material may help to reduce garbage or to reduce quantity of waste. Newspapers and polythenes should be given to kabadi walas. Household biodegradable waste should be used to prepare compost, to prepare vermicompost at the house or in the society itself, and the non-biodegradable should be given to the municipal bodies or municipal corporations, municipal councils, etc. And this is how we can have waste management. What should be done by the citizens to minimize production of solid waste? Especially facilitate use of bags in place of polythene bags. We should use we should use biodegradable substances in our day-to-day life. Use of non-biodegradable things should be avoided, and this is how we can bring about solid waste management, and we can overcome this important environmental issue. Let us now discuss regarding polyblend. polyblend is nothing but it is a material which is used for construction of highways and roads. Polyblend was first utilized in Bengaluru city in India, and this was produced by Ahmad Khan and RV College of Engineering. In this polyblend, a bitumen which is used for construction of road was mixed with blended polythene bags which were collected by the kabadi walas, and this blended polythene which was mixed into the bitumen, it improved water repelling capacity of bitumen. Because of this, because of use of polyblend, the quality of road in Bangalore Municipal Corporation was much improved. The lifespan of these roads was much improved as they were repellent to the water. And the major problem of polythenes which was created in the city, it was overcome. So polyblend is nothing but it is the blended polythene which is mixed with the bitumen for preparation of roads, for building of roads in the municipal corporations as well as in the state and national highways. And this use of polyblend also reduces the quantity of polythene present in our environment, which is one of the important crisis or one of the important issue which we are facing nowadays. Chipko movement. This Chipko movement is initiated in Garhwal district of Uttarakhand. This Chipko movement is related with preventing destruction of forest or preventing destruction of trees. Particularly, Sundarlal Bahuguna and other people, they have established this movement in Tehri Garhwal region of Uttarakhand, and they are protecting wildlife as well as they are protecting trees and forest in the Uttarakhand. Basically, this Chipko movement was done by Bishnoi communities. Amruta Devi Bishnoi was one of the pioneer who resisted or who prohibited king's soldiers to cut forest trees for building of palace. King's men or king's soldiers, they killed Amruta Devi Bishnoi. Her 3 daughters also sacrificed for this. They hugged the large trees and soldiers killed them by cutting the trees also. And from taking inspiration from Amruta Devi Bishnoi, this Chipko movement was initiated in Tehri Garhwal region of Uttarakhand. Government of India gives an award of award called Amruta Devi Bishnoi Wildlife Protection Award for the persons which contribute in restoring forest, in protecting forest. Rashtrapati gives this award every year to the person which contribute in restoring and protecting wildlife as well as forest. So these efforts, they are particularly taken by Indian government to inspire people for protecting forests as well as for restoring forests. Every year 5th June is regarded as National Environmental Day, which is celebrated by the people to create awareness regarding the environment and forest. Wildlife Protection Act is again implemented by Government of India to protect wildlife and to increase wildlife in our country. Thank you.